Okay, this is Chad Cook with AugBball, the recruiting show, where I hope to eventually talk about all things recruiting and college selection. But this week, we are talking details about the current high school basketball recruiting picture. My guest this week from the boys' side of things is Greg Williams with Team Power and various other activities around town with basketball and youth. Will Avery will talk to me about the girls' high school recruiting picture. And Kyle Sandy from Sandy Spiel, the GHSA expert, will talk to me about recruiting statewide. Before I get started, I want to say that throughout this episode, we'll probably say a lot of names and give a lot of information, but we'll probably miss plenty too. So please email me at augball@gmail.com or message me on any of the social media sites. I'm at augball with stuff that I'm missing or corrections. I would love to have your feedback so I can get the correct information and the complete information into these recruiting shows. So we're going to talk about official visits, coaches visiting high schools. We're going to talk about offers and commitments, starting with Greg. Greg Williams, welcome to the recruiting show.
Oh, no, I appreciate that, Chad. Well, right now, just updating everybody on what's going on from the information that I have. I know in the 2017 class, starting off with these guys, I know Justin Phillips over there at Westside has a strong interest in Presbyterian. They've been reaching out to him and reached out to us as well. I know that also in the 2017 class, Jamal Hinkle over at Burke County has a host of Division II schools very interested in him, such as Coker, Southeastern, Queens, Spicer, and Catawba right now. These guys are in touch with him daily. And just updating everybody on San Antonio Brinson that is reclass. He checked in 2 weeks ago over at South Kent. Like I said, had a great spring and summer, especially summer, to where, schools such as NJIT, they've been on him for the last 3 months. Coach Raff is stopping in today to see San Antonio work out. Got schools such as Rhode Island that just reached out earlier this week. They'll be in this week as well, watching them work out. And he has a host of others, such as like UNC Greensboro and Austin P, where he currently holds an offer from, and North Carolina Central and Norfolk State. Both of those two schools just reached out to me last week about just kind of really just getting a feel for where he's at. And then schools such as Presbyterian, he went on unofficial up there. They loved him. He enjoyed the campus, and also he went on unofficial up to USC Upstate. And they're recruiting them and keeping an eye on them as well. And just giving everybody a little bit of update with the Montrez Hall. He's out there at New Mexico State, in a great league out there, the Texas League out there in the junior college landscape is big time. The Texas and the Florida League, and he has a host of just talking to his coach this week. He has a host of schools that are just dropping by this week that where he'll benefit quite a bit. And we got Raquel Smoot down there at Gulf Coast Junior College. I know Arkansas State is going to be down there this week looking at him. And like I said, he has a host of others that have been tracking him since high school that are looking to see him take his game to the next level. So that's pretty much, Chad, a lot of the 2016 kids that decided to go junior college and some of the 2017 kids. I know the kid Ryan Jolly, I talked to Gardner Webb yesterday extensively. I know they're very high on him, so they had a chance to watch him in the Georgia Bulls AAU team play this year over at Hoop Scene, and I know they're going to be in next Monday to watch him, and they also inquired about Tim Williamson, looking to work him out as well next Monday morning as well.
So that's Ryan Jolly of Augusta Prep, class of 2018. So he's a junior, and Tim Williamson out of Hepzibah, class of 2018. He's a junior. A lot of these guys, if not all of them, I guess all but Ryan Jolly, I think have been through your program at Team Power. Obviously, you had a couple guys, Christian Keeling and Madison Williams, that have been through your program who are off to Charleston Southern and Illinois State. right now. So you keep in touch with the coaches. I've definitely noticed that over the years. The coaches keep in touch with you, and I appreciate you coming on here to talk to me about that, those guys. And I'll run a few by. I'm doing a story. By the time I release this, a story at AugBball will be almost a day old by then about TJ Massenberg, who's at Shiloh High School. He's taking 3 official visits, one to Middle Tennessee State, one to James Madison, one to Temple, and a possible to SMU. Isaiah Kelly, who's been through that power program and is a junior at Pace Academy, I've got him from 247sports.com. I've got Cincinnati, Harvard, wow, Iowa State, Memphis, and Alcorn State is offering him so far. There's a really good little video from the weekend from On the Radar Hoops. Sean Williams' showcase event. So there's a cool. I'll try to set up a link to that. And then I've got Trey Gamillion and Timmy Sellers Dayton is gonna drop in on Trey Gamillion of Aquinas and Timmy Sellers of Glen Hills the day that I release this, hopefully. And then North Florida and Kennesaw State are going to stop back in and watch Aquinas. Come to Aquinas and, check out Trey and I'm sure some of the other good players there. You mentioned Ryan Jolly. He's got a bunch of interest. He had such a great AAU season last year, like you said, with the Georgia Bulls out of Augusta Prep. I've got Furman came in last Wednesday to the school. William and Mary and Georgia Southern will be in this Wednesday. Wofford's coming soon. Ryan has visited Middle Tennessee State. He will visit Georgia Southern this Saturday, and there's 3 or 4 more schools that I haven't even gotten to that are kind of have him on their radar. And I think, well, I won't say I think that covers it, but I think that covers everything that I have in front of me and that you have in front of you. So, again, we encourage everybody to email augball@gmail.com or to hit AugBball up on any social media. And Greg, if they want to message you, should I tell them at PQ Sports on Twitter is a good way to get you?
Yes, sir. At PQ Sports on Twitter is a great way to get a hold of.
Right. Well, thanks for joining me, Greg, and I'll see you real soon in the gym.
Appreciate the chat. I'm good.
As promised, for the second part of today's recruiting show, I go to Will Avery.
First thing would be Elena Davis, due to the fact, I happen to coach her. And I've been very involved in her recruiting process since the start of it. Elena is committed to Memphis, great player, and the thing about Elena, she hasn't stopped working and adding things to her game since her commitment, which I love. She continues to grow as a player and as a person, as a leader, which has been great to see and be a part of.
Her. And when it comes to Daisha Benjamin, who transferred recently from Laney to Westminster, I know she took she had an in-home visit, was it, Saturday with the University of Alabama?
That is correct, yes. Alabama and Georgia Tech are the Power 5 schools that recently offered Daisha. I expect that list to grow even more after next weekend's last event, last live period for the girls in the fall, September 24th and 5th. She's another player that just continues to grow her game, always working. She's growing up. She got on the scene very young, which was great. And, she has the talent and the skill set. Now she's started to mature, and her game is starting to grow. She's really understanding what she's doing and taking her time out there on the floor. And when in the past she was going 100 miles per hour, just, going on what she actually been starting to understand the things she needs to add to her game and why she needs to add and when to use them. She does a great job of getting others involved and picking her spot, when to take over games and stuff like that. She's becoming dominant now, and that's good to see.
So I also talked about in my post about Destiny Marshall of Grovetown committing to the College of Charleston, Amani Mayo of Hephzibah committing to Temple University, and Jasmine Robinson of Richmond Academy committing to Troy. Anything about those three players that you'd like to call out?
Those three players are obviously very good players. Very, very different. I think Mayo is a very good scorer. You see her score a lot. Her team doesn't have. She has to do a lot for her team night in and night out. The same with Robinson, has to do a lot for her team night in and night out. But Robinson's different. If you see her in during the travel ball season, she has a lot of weapons around her, and you can see her, being able to play the point guard position and make others better. Destiny Marshall is just a great athlete. Had a really good year and led Grovetown in scoring on her way to being All-State. She's a player that I think is going to become really good at the college level. Lefty, like I said, very athletic. Once starts to knock down that jump shot consistently to go with the thing she already has. She has very good instinct and a very good feel for the game. I think she's going to be a very, very good player at the next level.
Now, two more players that I identified are Aubriana Bonner out of Laney and Sydney Graydon out of Greenbrier. I said that both of those players have been offered scholarships from one or more schools. Then I also called out of Cross Creek, Nia Daniels, Camilla Thomas out of Laney, Jessica Williams and Jaden Hamilton, out of North Augusta, Amari Young and Maya Burns. Before I give too long of a list, are any of those names, one or two of those, somebody that you'd like to tell us a little more about?
Yeah, Sydney Graydon's recruiting has been very, very interesting. She has interest from, Eastern Kentucky, USC Upstate, Georgia Southern, and then she got this offer from Augusta. Sydney is an excellent student and wants to be a doctor. And, when you look at it, since the merger, between Augusta and MCG, I think education-wise, and that's obviously, a priority for Sydney, wanting to be a doctor. Augusta presents, the best package, and I think she's the one who recognizes that. And, I think Augusta is going to be more beneficial to her than the other schools was when it comes to academic. And I love to see kids that, choose a school not based on just the basketball, but, on their future after basketball comes to an end.
Any other news you'd like to share about local basketball players and their recruiting stories?
We have tons of talent in the area. Like you said, you named off a lot of names. Bonner has an offer from USC Aiken. Amon from North Augusta holds two offers, one from East Carolina, one from UNC Wilmington.
Wow.
And, Yasmin Avery, my daughter, is getting interest. Maya Burns, I think North Carolina A&T showed a little interest in her this summer. I know A&T have shown interest in Jaden Hamilton as well, and those are, very, very young kids, and they will continue to get better and continue to get more exposure, and that list will grow, for all of those kids. So we have a great group of talented kids already on the girls' side, and they work extremely hard, and they take care of the things they need to do in the classroom. Jaden Hamilton is second in our class academically. So these kids are doing things they need to do to be prepared, for that.
Well, that's great to hear. And let's do this frequently.
Okay, take care, man.
Okay, I have Kyle Sandy, the GHSA expert, on the line. Now, if we transition over to the state of Georgia and recruiting in general, I do not get to see all the games that you do, but I know enough to be dangerous, and one of my absolute favorites is the group from Liberty County, starting with, well, I don't know who to start with, but among them, Davion Mitchell and Richard LeCount. Mitchell being, I guess, probably a top 25 player in the nation, committed to University of Auburn or Auburn University. Now, you have schooled me on the fact that Chuma Okeke has also committed to Auburn. And Along with, Jared Harper will be a freshman at Auburn this season. He's out of Pebblebrook, one of my favorites as well. So, in my opinion, Bruce Pearl has come into that program and gotten a lot of players already that, for instance, Mark Fox at University of Georgia would have loved to have been able to get. Is it too early for me to have the feeling that something that maybe that I'm sure Dogs fans would love to have happened long ago, getting the best players in the state to go to Athens? Is it too early to say that Pearl is pulling that off from Auburn, getting those best players out of Georgia?
Well, Pearl, he's definitely hit the ground running. You mentioned it, freshman this year, Jared Harper was, averaged about 28, 29 points a game at Pebblebrook, and another guy that kind of goes under the radar because he wasn't in those Metro Atlanta schools, Anthony McLemore. He was a 6'8", power forward from Worth County, just a double-double machine, blocked everything, averaged about 6 blocks a game. So he's going to be a very interesting. Not a lot of people know about him. Then we touched on 2017 class. We got Davian Mitchell, who people just love. His, tenacious guy. He's just a gamer, champion at Liberty County. He's going to try and, defend their title and repeat this year, which is going to be just a whole nother can of worms in Class 3A, which is just absolutely loaded to the gills. But as far as Georgia goes, yeah, you want to get the best guys. So I think Georgia's done a pretty decent job. I'm not gonna hate on Mark Fox because this past year they had some freshmen. They had a Derek Obidi from Pebblebrook, who was a 6'8", 6'9" shot blocker, just a behemoth when Pebblebrook fell to Wheeler in the state title game 2 years ago. They also had Turtle Jackson, who was coming from, I believe it was Athens Christian up there, and Athens, he was a nice player. But the guys I really like are the cousins that are coming in this year, Jordan Harris and Tyree Crump, both in South Georgia. Again, if you're in Metro Georgia, you might not know a whole lot about them. But those guys are, I saw Jordan Harris play. I got to say, he might have been the best high school player I've seen in person. He went for 41 points, 11 rebounds in the state championship 2 years ago. This past year, I just saw him. He's just a human highlight reel, average close to a triple-double, full quadruple-doubles. Wouldn't be surprised if he got him. And Tyree Crump, his cousin's 2-guard, so that's another kid that can fill it up. So Georgia might not be getting the big names in the Metro Atlanta area, not getting the guys from like Norcross and Wheeler right now, but they're still getting some talented guys. If I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan, I'm not panicking just yet because I really like what they're doing. They're really, turning over the stones, going to places that a lot of, high major programs might not know, like the back of their hand, going to South Georgia, going to Seminole County, going to Bainbridge and places like that. So I think they're doing a good job over there at Georgia. I wouldn't panic just yet. I think they're doing the due diligence. I think Mark Fox has the program going in the right direction, slowly but surely. But I do think the Georgia Bulldogs, they're holding their own in the state of Georgia. There's other schools in the state of Georgia who aren't doing as hot as keeping the talent in the state. But I think Georgia, they're not the pinnacle of keeping guys in the state, but they're doing just a fine job, I say.
Well, I'm glad we talked about that because that gives me 2 guys to watch out for. And those 2 names, Crump and Harris, are guys I never would have heard of if it weren't for you. I have heard those names. I have not seen them play, but where I've heard those names is from Kyle Sandy and Sandy Spiel. So keep up the good work on that, and I'll be looking for them when the season rolls around. Thank you, Kyle, for doing this, and hopefully we'll do it much more.
Chad, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.